Hey, what's up, guys? So I get asked all the time, what battery charger do I use? What do I like about it, dislike about it? What do I recommend? So I figured I'd make this video. I'm going to talk really quick because I'm going to rush through this. No one wants to sit through a 20-minute long battery charger review. But I use many of them, and I finally settled on the HiTEC X2 AC Pro. I will say that they do make like 4 or 5 different models of this. This gets the name X2 because it has 2 power outlets, and this means that you can run 2 balance boards. You can run both at the same time. You can have 6 batteries charging on one side, 6 batteries storage charging or discharging on the other, or I could have 1300 milliamps charging on one and a bunch of 2S batteries charging on the other, or I could have LiPos charging on one and my Fat Shark batteries charging on the other. Basically anything that has banana plugs you can use to charge. And a lot of these cables I've made myself, like this one, and well, pretty much all of them I've made myself. Anything with banana plugs you can use. Now they do have a X4, which is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of having 2 power outlets, it has 4. I probably would have bought that one a year ago when I bought this, but it wasn't around yet. But it's really not that big of a deal. I'm happy with anything that's more than 1. After experiencing a battery charger that has 2 separate balance boards, and I can do my LiPos and Fat Shark batteries at the same time, or in any combination I want, I will never go back. Now they also have the X2 AC Plus. The difference between the Plus and the Pro is the Pro has a built-in soldering iron. Well, it's not built in. You can detach it and reattach it. It plugs in right here. And the Pro version has a max power output of 200 watts, where the Plus has a max of 100 watts. That's not that big of a deal because not many people go over 100 watts. The only time I ever do is when I'm charging a bunch of these giant batteries for my GPS builds. So if you can live without the soldering iron, basically, then the Pro is about $200, a little less than $200, and the Plus is about $100. So without the soldering iron, you'll save $100 right there. And I think $100 for basically the same exact thing with all the same features is definitely well worth it. I would highly recommend it. As far as the outside, you have a fan on both sides as well as a vent. You have 2 vents right here in the middle. Here's your 2 power outlets, your 2 balance boards where you plug in the soldering iron. It has a USB port which is rated at 5 volts, 2.1 amps. I can have batteries charging on these as well as my USB cable charging either my cell phone or my GoPro Hero session camera or any of my other HD cameras. Anything with a USB, you can use this to charge it. It also has a micro USB port which you can use to upgrade the firmware in this, as well as, if you want, you can spend $20 extra to get this Bluetooth module, and it comes with a free app. You can link this to your phone, and anything you can do from this charger, you can do from your phone and that app. You can have this in a different room or in your garage and can completely monitor your batteries. It shows you even the individual cell voltages. You can start the charge, stop the charge, change charging modes from charge to storage or discharge. Also, once your batteries are finished charging or discharging or whatever mode you have it in, your phone will alarm you. I think that's great if you have this in a garage or something like that. You can also plug in 2 external temperature sensors if you do charge your batteries in a LiPo bag, and once it reaches a predetermined temperature, it will shut itself down if anything goes wrong. It does also have an internal temperature sensor, which it comes with it, and if it uses that to turn the fans on. So like right now it's plugged in, fans are not on, but once I start charging and it reaches that temperature, the fans automatically turn on, and if it gets too hot, it will shut itself down, which has never happened to me. Like I said, I've had this a year. I have not had one problem out of it. As far as the menus and the buttons, you press this to switch between the 2 different power outputs. A is going to be on the left side, B is on the right side. You can press stop to stop the charge, or go back menus, the minus and plus arrow to go through the menus, and enter to make your selections. Here's all the different types of batteries you can use. I do use nickel metal hydride to recover over discharged batteries. If you haven't experienced that yet, most battery chargers have this safety feature to where if your LiPo is over discharged, the LiPo setting will not allow you to recover it, but nickel metal hydride will. Bat meter, I do have one 1300 battery plugged in right now just to show you, but you can view the individual cell voltages, and if you press the plus sign, it's going to show you the entire, the full voltage of the battery, as well as the highest cell voltage and the lowest. Bat resistance, I use this to give myself a good idea of how much wear and tear is on my batteries, how old they are, how close they are to need to be replaced. Also use this to determine if I do have a bad cell. If I'm not sure, then I just come to this screen, and if you don't know, the lower the number the better. If it's a really high number, then it's probably a bad cell, and if they're all high, then it's probably time to replace that battery. You can also press the plus sign and it gives you a total resistance. For the settings, you can set this up to turn off after the battery has been charging for so long. Sometimes you have damaged batteries and they just keep charging and charging, where this will shut itself down. It will also do the same thing where you can choose at what milliamps an hour put into the batteries will shut it down. This is for the internal temperature sensor. Once it reaches a certain temperature, it will turn the fans on, and if it gets even hotter, it will shut itself down. You can choose between Fahrenheit and Celsius, the rest time between charge and discharge. I really never use this. You can make it stop beeping every time you press a button. One thing I forgot to mention, on the back side, you can charge your batteries through the typical wall outlet. It accepts between 100 and 240 volts, but also you can use DC power to charge your batteries between 11 and 20 volts. What this means is I actually made a cable just for my car battery, and if I'm out in the field and I don't have any wall outlets around, I can use my car battery to charge my batteries. What this will do is, obviously you don't want to over discharge your car battery, so you can set this up to shut itself down once your car battery gets to a certain voltage. That way it's not going to leave you stranded. Like I said, the Pro has a max power output of 200 watts, and that's going to be 100 watts per channel. So you can, if you need more watts on a certain channel, if you are charging some gigantic batteries and many of them at the same time, then you can increase the wattage on one channel and it's going to decrease the wattage on the other channel. Or you can even do 200 watts on one channel and no watts on the other channel. You can completely reset it here. It shows your firmware version and all this. Like I said, I've had this a year. I've never upgraded the firmware, but I've never had a reason to. I've never had a problem out of it. But probably after this video, I'll look and see if there is a firmware update. This is how you turn on the soldering iron. It goes as low as 200 degrees Celsius up to 450 degrees Celsius. And I will say that it reaches full temperature like crazy fast. I'm talking like 15 to 20 seconds. It's at full temperature. Of all the soldering irons I own, this is the best one of all of them. And we're back at the beginning. Now, like I said, I have a LiPo plugged in now. We can click on this to set your basic settings. You can do that here and press enter again. You can choose what cell count your batteries are at. It can do 1S up to 6S. You have balance, which will balance if you want to leave the voltage of your battery right where it's at, but only balance the cells. You can do that. You have charge, which will slowly ramp the charge up, and then once the battery is almost fully charged, it will slowly ramp it down. That way it will put in as much juice as the battery can hold. If you do fast charge, it's not going to slowly ramp it in and out. It's pretty much going to get to whatever voltage your cell, whatever battery you were using, it's going to quickly get there and then give you the alarm saying it's fully charged. It's not going to be 100% charged. It'll be like 95% charged. Storage is if you want to storage charge it. Every single day when I get done flying, I always storage charge my batteries. This is going to set it at 3.8 volts per cell, I believe. And then if you want to discharge your batteries, you can do that. So if we set it to charge, what you want to do is set this up, hold down the enter key. It's going to check to make sure that you're not about to screw anything up. So if you have a 3S battery plugged in and you have this set to 4S, it's going to check first, and it's going to stop you from being able to it's not going to send that charge. So that's another great safety feature. But if you hold it down and press the enter button again, it will start charging. You'll see right here that's going to slowly ramp it in. This is the current voltage of the battery. You have a timer, and this is how many milliamps have been placed into the battery. If you press the plus arrow, then it's going to show you the individual voltages for every cell. Press it again, we see the percentage of battery charged with an average cell voltage. Then if you press enter, you go back to this screen, press the minus key. It's going to tell you at what voltage it's going to stop charging at. Because I'm using a 4S battery, that is 16.8 volts. Press minus again, and it shows you the voltage being placed into the battery charger. And that is pretty much it, guys. So what do I like? What do I dislike? I really like everything about it. I really can't complain. It's never let me down. The fans have never stopped working. It's never overheated. The one and only thing that I dislike is the rate at which it discharges. So like I said, when I come back from flying, I want to storage charge all my batteries. If the batteries are below 13.8 volts per cell, then it will quickly charge them up and then stop at, halfway. But if there's batteries I did not use, then it has to discharge them to get them down to 3.8 volts. The problem is the maximum it will discharge at is 600 milliamps an hour. And it doesn't matter if you only have one battery or if you are doing 12 batteries. It doesn't matter if it's a 300 milliamp an hour 2-cell battery or if it's a gigantic battery like this. Nothing matters. It's always a max of 600 milliamps. For the smaller batteries, it's not that big of a deal, but if I'm trying to storage charge like 4 of these that are still fully charged, we're talking like a 6-hour-long ordeal. But then again, it's not that big of a problem because if I am storage charging my batteries, I'm obviously not flying anytime soon, so I have nothing but time. That's going to do it, guys. So if you look in the description below, I'll leave you links to all the different models so you can check them out. As far as my recommendation for one, just a really good battery charger for a really good price, I would recommend the X2 AC Plus. Like I said, it's exactly like this, just without the soldering iron, and it's $100 cheaper. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.